What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Gonna show you guys the deck I ran at regionals in Wilson, North Carolina yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday actually, and I got third place after Swiss, and then I won my top 8 match. The deck that I chose to run was Gladiator Beast. It was a really interesting event. I learned a lot about the meta by playing. I play a lot of virtual Yu-Gi-Oh! And then when I go to events, it's always a little bit different than what I expect. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the deck and talk about why I ran certain things and what cards I liked and what cards I didn't like. First off, we've got 2 Thunder King, 1 Gale, 1 Gramble, 2 Laquari, 2 Quest, 1 Ratiari, 1 Darius, 1 Hop, 1 Bestiari, 1 Murmillo. My monster lineup is, I think, 12 monsters, and it's pretty basic. The 2 Thunder Kings were really good in the Samurai matchup. I mean, I really felt like every card did its job, to be completely honest. Gale put in work against the 1 Samurai guy that I played against. It was, it took out a Stardust. All the GBs have very important jobs, but you don't need any one to win, and that's why I really like this deck. 3 Proving Grounds makes it so I can get to whatever I want, whenever I want, and helps me keep my monster count low. 2 Forbidden Lance. Oh my god, this card was so freaking amazing, saving me from Bottomless, Deep Prison, Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, you name it. Lance was stopping it, and it won me a couple of games because I use it on people's monsters to make my GBs run over. 2 Smashing Ground. Seems like an outdated card, but it works perfectly in GB. 2 MST. Book of Moon, Pot of Duality, MST, Monster Born, and Darkhold. The 1 Pot of Duality, it actually does work really well. Despite the fact that you tag every turn, preferably anyway, but turns where you summon a monster and attack and your opponent stops that summon via Solemn Warning or Torrential Tribute or whatever, those are perfect opportunities to use Duality. There's also turns where you don't need to special summon, like you have a 21 Laquari and you don't feel like you need to tag. That's a good turn to use Duality. There's turn 1, and it's just a really good card. Every time I used it, it ended up letting me dig for Chariot or 7 Tools or Solemn Warning. And to my trap lineup, which really was the MVP of the day. 3 Chariot, which is the most important card in the deck. I think it's the entire reason Glads is still relevant. 3 Deep Prisons, 2 Solemn Warnings, put in work. 2 Compulse. I love Compulse and Glads. This card is so much better than a Bottomless Trap Hole. It was taking out Stardust Dragons left and right. Basically anything I didn't want to look at, I just compulsed. 2 7 Tools, probably the most important card of the entire day. Like, I felt like 7 Tools just let you do whatever you want. I was using it offensively against most decks. Against the Samurai match, I basically just held it until he tried the double edge, because I felt like that's the scariest card in their deck. If I keep Sheen off the field, I mean, you can't really synchro unless you double edge. And then I end up the traps with Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, and Solemn. I don't really like Torrential Tribute as a card, but I did use it in this deck because I only run 12 monsters, and a quest can get back any monster that dies, and Darius can do the same thing. Plus I have Monster Reborn in addition, so I felt like TT was actually pretty decent in here. I'm gonna pause for a second, show you guys the extra inside, talk a little more about the deck. Okay, my extra deck was, of course, 3 Grazaris, 2 Heraclinos, and 1 Azadari. We got some glare over there, but pretty sick. Azadari Matt, got an Azadari, that's pretty sick. And then a whole bunch of synchros that you don't even need, I won't even lie. Catastor, Armwing, Armor Master, Scrap Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Veronic, Stardust Dragon, and Colossal Fighter. Okay, and for my side deck, 2 Spirit Reapers. They were actually pretty good. I used them in the 1 Hero Beat match that I played against. I used them in Samurais because Samurais have a hard time. Same with Sabers. 3 Cyber Dragons, didn't even side them once, and yeah, I do know I didn't play Chimera Fortress Dragon because I don't have one, unfortunately. 3 Kinetic Soldiers, these were amazing. I played 1 Hero Beat and I played 1 Samurai, and it wrecked both games. 2 Forbidden Chalice. This is a very overlooked card. I know I have Chariot, but it basically gives you 5 Chariots in the deck. I mean, when you side in Forbidden Childs against stuff like X Sabers or whatever, you basically can't get effects off. And I really was gonna side it for the plant matchup, because what I like about it is, you know, like let's say you go second, they set Raikou, you can summon Laquari, attacking the Raikou, and use Chalice on it, you know what I mean? So you don't have to wait like Chariot. Chariot's a better card, but you know, you won't always have Chariot, and you know, this just gives you more access to shutting down effects, you know? So I think this is way better than Effect Veiler. Plus you can side this in and D-Fissure at the same time. You can't really side in D-Fissure and Veiler at the same time without, you know, there being some type of conflict. 2 copies of D-Fissure. I sided in against X Sabers. I played 2. I didn't like it, actually, to be honest. I didn't play any plants, unfortunately, because that was on the main decks I was going to decide it for. And I didn't play any like Monarch variations or anything like that. And then just to round out the end of the side was Mind Crush and 2 Chain Disappearance. So to be honest, out of the extra deck, the only cards I really used were the Reapers, the Soldiers, and the Chalices. Like everything else didn't really see that much play. So for everybody knocking Glads, they are still a really good deck. They're still competitive. Until the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Finds an answer to Glad Beast War Chariot and juggling it, they're going to be a good deck. You know, the toolbox is too strong. Azadari did give them a little bit more strength. And, I mean, there were so many games like against the scrap player in top 8 who I also played in game 6 or round 6 where you just summon Laquari, set 5. Like, do you understand how intimidating that is? People don't synchro when you do that. People don't even know what to do against you. So, you know, you guys can try this deck. It's pretty standard. I like it. And one thing I will say, we had a very interesting and diverse top 8. I'll post all the deck lists to the top 8. The regionals actually takes place in a mall. So, like, immediately after following top 8, they want, like, everybody out. So I couldn't do any recording of other decks, which, God, I really wish I could have, because there was, like, 6 different decks that topped. But I will say this. Tech Genus, that deck is amazing. And it was my only loss in the entire tournament, and I really do feel like I got wrecked in that match. So I might do a video on Tech Genus. The deck is sick. Thanks for watching, guys.